What's going on, fine people? This is Dale, that rock guy, with another episode. Want to show you that beautiful scenery that we got through here. We got a storm coming through Colorado, so we picked this location, and we also have another person to interview, the Madre, the mom. So we're gonna kind of just interview the mother right now about some of the things, some of the craziness that Dale, that rock guy, has been through over the years. So, Mom, let's just go over some questions and just kind of see where your head's at on a lot of these things. I wanted to start off with a question first. Did you know when I first liked rocks?
Yeah, you'd walk around when you were 2, 3 years old, but the best part was when we moved to Cripple Creek, you found that 3-inch amethyst, like a spike.
That was cool.
Oh, that was gorgeous.
That was cool.
Yeah, it took me years and years for you to give it to me for my birthday.
And it was crazy because I didn't really know what it was.
Yeah.
Because I just knew it was cool. I was walking home from school. I think it was maybe a mile from the bus stop I walked home.
Yeah.
And I just remember that being so cool. And I washed it off because it had dirt on it.
Oh, that's
and I was
gorgeous.
like, man. So they call it a scepter is what the actual name of that crystal is. Because basically what it does, it starts off small. It was quartz. In the middle was smoky quartz, and on the top it's kind of went to a point, and that was the amethyst. So it was a really cool rock.
It was a good find.
Yeah, it was a really cool find. But speaking of maybe walking around looking for rocks, what kind of trouble can you get into looking for rocks?
Yeah, you can get in trouble. There's no trespassing signs in that. You got to be careful.
Right, you do. And I always tell people you got to do your research.
Oh, yeah.
Know where you're going, and then I'm from Arizona, so like rattlesnakes, that was always the danger. So there's a lot of trouble you can get into.
Mines.
Yeah, you fall through a mine shaft
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So there's definitely trouble in that. And then just maybe trouble just staying out too long looking for rocks and maybe not knowing your surroundings, how to get back. That's always very important. I always told people, if you're not really a confident hiker, leave breadcrumbs. Do that old school tactic where you know how to get back. So it's very important. Third question. So, we lived in Arizona for quite a few years, and we always went out on the ATV, right?
Oh, yeah, that was fun. Yeah, that was great.
So we just kind of went out
And
on those.
you were young when you drove an ATV.
Yeah, I was a little kid
little
driving
guy
it.
driving an ATV, big old yellow ATV. Yeah.
Yeah, and, we just had miles and miles of dirt roads to go explore on.
was fun.
And we had all these old mines, and that was really cool.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
was there a spot in Arizona that you can remember that really stuck out, that was fun going on an ATV ride?
I'm trying to remember that place we went way over on the other side of the highway.
Yeah.
Yeah, what was that? What was over there? Was there mines?
Because it was kind of towards like Lake Mead.
Yeah.
So you could see Lake Mead and the Colorado River off in the distance, which was cool.
That was beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's what's, it's so beautiful. Kind of going into the next question, one of the questions I have, the scenery, right?
Oh, God, yeah.
You got to enjoy this rock hunting thing for everything.
Oh,
So
yeah.
what's some of the things you enjoy when we go out?
Spending time with you.
Yeah, but it's not always about the rocks, right? Sometimes it's about the
Spending
journey.
time
We've
together,
you taught me that at an early age. It's about the journey ahead, right? And we went through a journey in life, and when it comes to rocks, it's kind of the same thing.
Time we spent together.
Yeah, time we spend together, the relationships you build. That's why I love taking people out on trips too, because it's so fun. And then you find the beautiful crystals, underneath the dirt. That's really cool too.
Was that one place we went with the white crystals? Remember, I had to go back and forth 3 times with my backpack.
So we took her out to the calcite spot. So we go to Penrose Pueblo, and that's where we get a bunch of calcite. We call it dogtooth calcite because the crystals actually form. They look like dog teeth. They're nice and jagged, so they're really cool. And she got really excited.
I had 3 backpacks.
Yeah, you kept going back to the truck because you had so many rocks, and that was a really cool spot because it's a super easy hike, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't too hot, I don't believe. I think it was perfect weather.
Nice.
So that's exciting. That was really cool. So my rock collection over the years. We joked with my last interview, Megan, Mrs. Rock Guy, about how I started from 1 box of rocks when she knew me into
and now you like cases.
A whole lot of rocks, cases, right?
Tables and cases.
So can you kind of maybe what's your opinion on how I've kind of grown?
Oh, you have grown like 100%.
Yeah.
From when you first started. When you first started, where was we in Flagstaff?
Right.
You had big white buckets with rocks in it.
I did.
And it started snowing, and you had to go out and save the rocks from the snow. You were pretty young, though. I think you were way back in elementary young.
Yeah, that was really young.
So that was funny.
Well, I was always like that. I was like, well, they're in my possession now, so I want to make sure they're protected. They may have been on the ground being tossed and rolled around for years, but I'm like, if they're in my possession, I got to make sure I take care of them. So that's a good point. I like that. I'm glad you brought that up because that's kind of funny, because I know a lot of other people that we've taken out hounding over the years where they're like, got to protect your stuff. That's why I always bring toilet paper.
Oh, yeah.
I bring paper towels, wrap up your treasures. And sometimes they break, but you want to try to preserve those things as much as you possibly can. So what do you make out of like making stuff out of rocks? Because as you know, we can pick up rough stuff all the time, but you can do a lot with rocks.
You can make jewelry and bracelets and carvings like little animals what's those other things that you make? Little animals and
when we make the
acorns. I like the acorns.
The acorns are cool. One, you can get creative, and that's what I like because I can kind of be an artist, right?
Little squirrels.
Yeah, one, apart from the figurines and stuff, tables.
Oh
right?
yeah, tables.
So yeah,
from the bourbon barrels.
Yeah, the bourbon
Those
barrels
are
has been
nice.
fun. I've kind of put that teaser online too. We're making that. We went to Arizona for the petrified wood. The forest out there is incredible. If you haven't been there, I highly suggest going out there. There are spots you can go and actually pick up some stuff for yourself. And it's beautiful to tumble, it's beautiful to cut, or it's just beautiful to have on your dining room table.
It's hard to believe it used to be wood, huh?
Yeah, and
it's crazy.
And it's just big logs out there now. And it's so cool.
It's crazy.
So neat. But so we talked a little bit about our trips. We did Penrose. I know we did Leadville back in the day. Leadville might be a kind of funny story because we went up there camping one night. And well, I'll just let you maybe finish that story.
Yeah, we had the Blazer, we had Biscuit,
yeah,
my dad's hound, and we went. We were walking all around, looking around, looking at the rocks and that. And then we slept in the Blazer and woke up and covered with snow everywhere.
Yeah, it's funny, and the weather changes so quickly up here. Let's kind of turn around again, and we'll kind of ask the last couple questions. So you kind of see the weather's just piling in. There was clouds when we started this video, but you can kind of see how many more clouds there definitely is since we've been talking.
Yeah, there's definitely a snowstorm.
Yeah, so I want to kind of ask you, what's your favorite piece?
Amethyst.
Amethyst, of course, right?
Yeah.
And that's a big one on a lot of people, just because of how beautiful that crystal is.
And the difference between the back, where you taught me about the background's black or the background's natural.
Yeah, so you're talking about the cathedrals.
Yeah.
So a lot of the bigger cathedrals, they're just large showcase pieces. They have that black backing, and we've kind of talked about that on the videos because of the epoxy that they put on there, because naturally it's gray, and they put that kind of like glue basically to kind of fill in a lot of the cracks too, because a lot of these big pieces, they have cracks, and you want to see the cracks because that really shows you that it's real. It's not like an artificial rock. But it's kind of neat because you get from purple to black. That's kind of a nice transition too, so it kind of looks nice when it's being basically anywhere in the house, outside, wherever you decide to put it. So that's really cool too. And then I gotta talk about going to the rock show in Denver.
Oh, that was fun. Yeah,
so
a lot of treasures there.
Right, and that was kind of fun because I remember telling you how to kind of barter with some of the dealers out there.
So that was 50, and I'm like, I got 2 20s and a 5. No.
I know.
Yeah, he finally gave in to me, though. I got that big old amethyst.
You did. Yeah, you did.
And I still got it. It's in a glass case now.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, I was jealous of that piece because I wanted it too, and I was like, darn, man, she got it before me.
I know. Wish I had a picture of it.
Right.
Yeah.
So that was really cool too.
Yeah.
And me, I built connections with these guys from Morocco
a couple good
for years.
places,
so they see me coming, and they're like, hey, come here, Dale. We know you. Whatever.
Well, you finally got a wagon, so we wouldn't have to carry it and run it back to the truck.
Yeah. So that's always fun, and I look forward to doing that for years, and I hope people look forward to coming to that rock guy too, because it's an experience like we've talked about in previous videos. I want to make that just a very unique experience, right? And what was your thoughts when I started doing my sales? What kind of feel did you get going into this?
I mean, you have largely displayed unbelievable. Even when I came this time to visit, so many new things.
Yeah, there's always new stuff.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
How do you find all this new stuff?
Right.
I mean, it's just he's grown incredibly huge. I mean, it's unbelievable how much stuff he's gained and got, and things that I would never have thought were rocks.
Well, that's what's kind of fun too. I love changing it up. I don't want it to always be the same setup all the time.
Yeah, maybe you change it around.
Yeah, maybe I get bored of it, but I also want people to be entertained as well.
Change the tables around.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that's always a lot of fun. Well, thank you so much for joining us for that rock guy. Had a great time. Thank you so much, everyone. Take it easy. Hi there, everybody. So there was one thing that we forgot on the main video and we did want to talk about. We left a really cool mineral bag hidden here, and the only hint you're going to get is buffalo. So I hope you find it. There's a lot of goodies in there. Have a great weekend, everybody.